Someone calls something socialism. Someone else calls it capitalism. Neither one could actually define either word under pressure. Here is every type of economic system, how resources actually get allocated, and who actually decides. Capitalism. This is the system built around private ownership. Under capitalism, individuals and businesses, not the government, own the means of production: factories, land, resources, capital. Prices, production decisions, and resource allocation are determined primarily by supply and demand interacting in free markets, rather than by central planning. The theory is that competition drives efficiency, innovation, and lower prices as businesses compete for customers and profit. Property rights are strongly protected, and individuals are generally free to start businesses, set prices, and make economic decisions with minimal government interference. Critics argue capitalism can produce significant income inequality, and that markets alone do not always account for externalities, like environmental costs, that fall outside direct transaction pricing. Supporters argue it produces greater overall wealth and innovation than alternative systems have historically achieved. No country operates under pure, unregulated capitalism in practice. Nearly every capitalist economy includes at least some government regulation and intervention. Socialism. This is the system built around collective ownership. Under socialism, major means of production, key industries, utilities, sometimes land itself, are owned or controlled collectively, often through the state, rather than by private individuals. The stated goal is typically reducing economic inequality and ensuring resources and essential services are distributed based on need or social benefit, rather than purely on market forces or individual wealth. Socialist systems vary significantly in practice, ranging from democratic socialism, where socialist policies operate within a democratic political framework, to more centrally planned variations, where government plays a much larger role in economic decision-making overall. Critics argue socialism can reduce individual economic incentive and efficiency, since profit motive is significantly diminished. Supporters argue it produces more equitable outcomes and ensures essential services, healthcare, education, are accessible regardless of individual wealth. Communism. This is the system that exists primarily as theory, rarely as practical reality. Communism, as originally theorized, describes a stateless, classless society where all property is communally owned, and resources are distributed according to the principle from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. Communism is often confused with socialism, but in Marxist theory, communism represents a further, more extreme theoretical endpoint, where the state itself has withered away entirely, having become unnecessary once class distinctions no longer exist. Countries historically labeled communist, including the Soviet Union and others, in practice implemented centrally planned economies with significant state control, rather than the stateless, classless system originally theorized. No country has actually achieved communism as originally theoretically defined, making it distinct from socialism, which has been implemented, in various forms, in numerous real-world countries. Mixed economy. This is the system most real countries actually operate under, regardless of what they call themselves. A mixed economy combines elements of private enterprise and government intervention, allowing market forces to operate in most sectors, while government regulates, provides certain services, or owns specific strategic industries. Most modern economies, including the United States, most of Europe, and much of the rest of the developed world, function as mixed economies, even when they are frequently labeled, often inaccurately, using simpler terms like purely capitalist or purely socialist. The specific balance between market freedom and government intervention varies significantly from country to country, and often shifts over time based on political, economic, and social factors. Understanding that most real economies are mixed helps explain why political debates using purely capitalist or socialist framing often fail to accurately describe how these economies actually function in practice. Market economy. This is the system where prices do almost all of the talking. A market economy is an economic system where resource allocation, production decisions, and pricing are determined almost entirely by the free interaction of supply and demand, with minimal government central planning or intervention. This term is closely related to capitalism, but specifically describes the mechanism of how economic decisions get made, rather than the broader ownership structure of the economy as a whole. In a pure market economy, Prices serve as the primary signal guiding what gets produced, in what quantity, and who receives it, based entirely on willingness and ability to pay, combined with producers' willingness to supply at that price. Proponents argue this system efficiently allocates resources based on genuine consumer demand. Critics argue pure market mechanisms can fail to adequately provide certain public goods or account for long-term considerations that short-term market pricing does not naturally incorporate. Command economy. This is the system where a central authority makes almost all of the decisions. A command economy is the system where a central governing authority, typically the state, makes the primary decisions about what gets produced, how much, and at what price, rather than allowing market forces to determine these outcomes. Central planners set production targets, allocate resources across different sectors, and generally attempt to coordinate the economy according to a broader, centrally determined economic plan, often spanning multiple years. Historical examples include the Soviet Union and several other centrally planned economies throughout the 20th century. Proponents of command economies argue central planning can more effectively address collective priorities and avoid certain market failures. Critics argue central planning frequently struggles with efficiently processing the vast amount of information required to accurately match production with actual consumer demand, often resulting in shortages of some goods and surpluses of others. Traditional economy. This is the system older than markets and governments combined. A traditional economy is an economic system where decisions about production, distribution, and resource allocation are based on customs, history, and inherited social roles, rather than market forces or centralized government planning. This system is most commonly found in subsistence-based and tribal economic structures, where economic roles are often passed down through generations, and production is primarily oriented toward meeting immediate, local community needs rather than broader market exchange or significant profit generation. Traditional economies still exist today in certain indigenous and rural communities around the world, though they represent an increasingly smaller portion of global economic activity, as market and mixed economic systems have expanded significantly across most regions over time. Traditional economies demonstrate that economic organization existed, functioning effectively, long before formalized markets or centralized governments developed. Feudalism. This is the system that organized Europe for centuries before modern economics existed as a formal concept. Feudalism was a historical economic and social system based primarily on land ownership and hierarchical obligations between different social classes. Under feudalism, a small number of landowning nobles controlled most agricultural land, granting portions of it to lower-ranking nobles, called vassals, in exchange for military service, loyalty, or other obligations. Peasants and serfs, who actually worked the land, owed labor, crops, or other economic output to the nobles controlling that land, in exchange for protection and the right to live and work on it. Feudalism gradually declined as centralized nation-states, market economies, and formal property rights systems developed and expanded throughout Europe and elsewhere. Understanding feudalism provides important historical context for how modern economic and property systems actually developed over time. Social democracy. This is the system frequently confused with socialism, despite being structurally quite different. Social democracy is a market-based, generally capitalist economic system, combined with significant government-provided social welfare programs, funded primarily through taxation, rather than government ownership of major industries or means of production. Countries often described as social democracies, including several Scandinavian nations, maintain predominantly privately owned businesses and market-based pricing, while providing extensive public services, universal health care, significant education funding, robust social safety nets, funded through generally higher taxation rates than many other developed economies. This distinguishes social democracy from socialism, since the underlying means of production remain predominantly privately owned, rather than collectively or state-owned, even though government plays a significant role in redistributing resources and providing services through the tax and welfare system. Every type of economic system. 9 different answers to the same basic question: who owns the resources, and who decides how they get used? Capitalism answers with private ownership and markets. Socialism answers with collective ownership and need-based distribution. Communism remains a theoretical endpoint rarely achieved. Mixed economies blend both approaches, which most real countries actually operate under. Market economies let prices decide. Command economies let central planners decide. Traditional economies let custom decide. Feudalism let land ownership decide. Social democracy combines markets with strong public welfare. The next time someone uses these words in an argument, you will not just hear a label. You will know exactly what system they are actually describing, and whether they are using the word correctly at all. That is the point.